and
Madcap!
You're entirely bonkers.
Nobody move!
something great.
Yes, whatever you do, keep a straight face.
Hello, my name is Soup, and I am here to welcome you to episode 3 of Madcast, Madcap Mondays. This one's episode title is called Perpetual Pontification. This particular Madcap Monday, host Nate Cozzolino and I had some alliteration going on, and it progressed through the night and eventually turned into a crazy scheme of some kind or another. And I'm not really sure where we were going with it or what the point of the whole thing was, but it was a lot of fun, and so it's just my nostalgic memory of a few Mondays ago. So let's get right on to it. We're going to start off with an unknown artist. I won't be changing the recording of this podcast to give him credit. However, if you do know who this is, we will credit appropriately in the credits of the podcast itself. So if you know who this is, let us know. If it's you, let us know. Come back down, do another song for us, and let us know what your name is so we can properly credit you in the future. And of course, as I said last time, I'm going to be doing this, I guarantee, every episode. Tim Batty had our good buddy Mars playing guitar behind him last time, underneath his spoken word poetry. Forgot to give him credit while I was doing my intros, so there it is. He's also an awesome regular and will be popping up in the background of the Madcast fairly often. So, alright, let's get right back into it. The unknown artist, Out of State.
When I first saw her, she was singing in the choir with the devil's grin upon her face. When my eyes met her eyes, in that moment I realized I still could not look away. I got you got me wrapped around your finger, babe. I got you got me wrapped around your finger, babe. The sun is always shining there, but she don't really give a damn. As long as she can work on her tan, I know that she's in love. We'll take the time, burning minutes off the precious clock. I'm so glad I'm burning them with you. Cause when I'm down, you get me up, and when I'm up, you make me higher. Paralyzed by the beauty inside you. I got you got me wrapped around your finger, babe. I got you got me wrapped around your finger, babe. The sun is always shining there. She don't really live a tan. As long as she can work on her tan, I know that she's in love. Wrapped around your finger, babe. Wrapped around your finger, babe. I got you got me wrapped around your finger. finger be. Thanks, guys.
Madcap.
The Unknown Artist, with some backup help from some house musicians, I believe. I would love to find out who this is and who else is on stage. We totally didn't keep our records absolutely straight, so we did not have the credit appropriately. So tell us who you are. Come back down, get another song for the Madcast, and get the credit you deserve, because that was a good jam. So we're going to continue to break the mold of what we never started as a routine, and we're going to do some stand-up comedy. Every once in a while, it seems one or two comedy guys come in, and, when they're solid, they're solid. And here's Brad. He's real funny. He came in and just wanted to get on stage, so we got him up there, and he hadn't been down to the spot in a long time, he said. So let's check him out. Here's Brad with 6 minutes of stand-up.
It's 2014. We are officially living in the future. And I, for one, am very disappointed. When I was a kid, I thought once we hit the year 2000, things were going to be crazy. We'd have flying cars and laser guns and robotic maids. We don't even have hoverboards yet. No wonder why Michael J. Fox is so shaken up. The guy was promised a flying skateboard and all he gets is an iPad? That's bullshit. This guy knows what I'm talking about. He's very enthusiastic. We got tattoos, Nate? You got tattoos? Of course you guys do. You guys are rock stars. I have tattoos because I'm awesome. When I got my first tattoo, my mom freaked out. She said, Brad, aren't you worried about what that's going to look like when you're old? As if some ink on my arm is going to be what keeps me from being attractive when I'm 80. I mean, have you seen old people? They're hideous. I promise you, no one has ever said, dude, your grandma is so hot. It's too bad she had to ruin it with that tramp stamp. We got any parents now? You guys have kids? Anybody have kids? Couple guys, yeah, poor bastards. My wife and I don't have kids because we like to enjoy life. But our friends with kids are always telling us, oh, you gotta have kids, they're so precious, they're God's gift, blah, blah, blah. And I know they're just saying this because misery loves company. They're always giving me the same argument. But Brad, who's gonna take care of you when you're old? Look, when I'm rotting away in a nursing home somewhere, I don't want those little bastards coming to visit me to remind me of how awesome life used to be. And I don't understand why we congratulate women for getting pregnant like they just achieved some amazing accomplishment. Oh, congratulations, you figured out how to have unprotected sex. Only about 100 16-year-olds on MTV have been able to pull that off. And why does that warrant having your own TV show? I went to high school with girls who got pregnant. I never once thought to myself, no, that girl should have a show. One time in high school, this kid, Eric, lit the men's room on fire because he wanted to go home early. Now, that guy should have had a television show. It must suck to live in one of those weirdo countries where they have arranged marriages. I wonder if parents there ever discipline their kids by having them, by threatening them with the idea of marrying some undesirable. Like, what's that, Bobby? You don't want to do your homework? Well, Bertha up the road with the cross eyes and the hairy armpits? She has got her eye on you. Well, at least we think she does. Oh, you don't want to do your chores, Bobby? Well, we've been talking with Pierre's parents, and let's just say we hope you don't mind opening your back door for a visitor. Maybe we could arrange something. Speaking of back doors, prison's real popular these days. I know I'd never make it in prison. Hell, I got in-house suspension once in high school and I almost cracked. And nobody even raped me. And why is rape acceptable in prison? So you're arrested for committing a crime, and they send you to a place where you can commit the most heinous crime possible whenever you want? And then what if a guy's actually arrested for raping another man? Now, I'm sure it's rare, but it must have happened at least once. So this guy gets caught raping another dude. Detective Benson and Stabler show up. Sir, you're under arrest for raping John Smith. We're going to need to take you to Dude Rape in Paradise for the next 10 to 15 years. There, you'll be able to feast on a wide variety of male tail of all different shapes, sizes, and colors. Now turn around and put your hands behind your back. It's dream come true time. They give us some gluten. I love gluten. I don't even know what the hell gluten is, but it's delicious. It's so good they should serve it by itself. I'm a gluten glutton. Every food without gluten is disgusting. Some people can't eat gluten. What do they call that? Celiac disease? I suppose it has become very popular to not eat gluten. But I don't know why some people complain about this. The other day, my friend was like, what's with all these hipsters not eating gluten? I was like, who cares, dude? That's more delicious gluten for us. If these clowns want to pay $15 for a cardboard granola bar, let them. Thank you. You guys are a lot of fun. Thank you. I'm extraordinarily intoxicated. So I love gluten. I love food in general. And as no surprise, I hate throwing up food. Puking's the worst. I'd rather get mule kicked in the nads. And I know what you're thinking, Brad, please tell us about the last time you vomited. Well, you're in luck, because just about a month ago, I was struck with some strain of the bubonic plague, and I was shoulder deep in my toilet. You came just in time. Puking my brains out. Blah! And I'm very loud when I vomit. I'm like a wounded barbarian. I'm flailing my arms around, knocking down random toiletries. And I remember thinking to myself, if a guy walked in here right now and put a gun to my head and offered to put me out of my misery, I would literally have to flip a coin to make that call. Blah! So I finish emptying out my intestines. And I begin to crawl back to the couch like an injured soldier on the beaches of Normandy. And I just make it, and I see that I have a text message. It's from my wife, and it says, Brad, please keep it down in there. I'm trying to sleep. The compassion only a spouse can give.
Whoa, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. So, yeah, our microphones for the audience don't really pick up much, as you can tell. But that was Brad, and this is the Madcast of Madcap Monday, and I hope you are enjoying the beans out of it. We're going to continue on with a nice jam held down by Nate Cozzolino, our master of madcapery and host for Madcap Mondays. It's kind of cool. It's a couple of minutes long. It's nice. It's fun. And we're going to listen to it. So, yeah, stick around. We're not quite done yet here on the Madcast of Madcap Mondays. So, stick around.
Okay, Private Miller, you've been smoking item 9 for 7 minutes and 13 seconds. We're going to ask you several questions. How do you feel?
Madcap.
Okay, Private Miller, when you think of your superiors, what emotions do you feel?
What the fuck are you trying to say?
This is great. This is the bee's knees item.
Madcap.
Supporting live music, local musicians, and artists. The Spot on Tour, 101 Richmond Street, Downtown Providence. Live music 7 nights a week, and our kitchen's open late. Find out more at thespotunderground.com. And stay connected with us on social media, The Spot Underground on Facebook.
Alright, I know I just told you, like, not even a second ago that we were going to play a song, but I have a special treat for you that I had almost totally forgot about, and I want to share it with you. So here it is. Enjoy. Alright, we're here on Madcast of Madcap Monday, and I'm joined by Nate Cozzolino today. For the first time, I'm having a real live guest on the Madcast. I hope to do this more often, as with most things, but
Amen.
I really like where we're going with this, so I wanted to bring you in and talk about a few things, including the beginning of the Madcapery. We started off with a very simple idea and moved on into more intricate things. So, what do you think was your original thought process behind the Madcap?
That's a good question. I revel in the fact that I have no idea what I'm doing. But that being said, there's a smell to things. You know, you walk in the kitchen, someone's on the pot, you take a whiff and you're like, shit, might use some of this. You throw it in. Mondays kind of opened up. I was fortunately in the right spot at the right time, and more like you guys took it from there. You know, I had a bullshit name, Madcap. You know, I was reading about Sid Barrett at the time, and he had his album, The Madcap Laughs, and I was big into Floyd for a long time. But that random creative splurge that was kind of connotated by the words just caught my attention. I spit it out, and other stuff happened.
It's really cool. I really loved the whole idea of the concept and what the word brought up in my mind when I thought about it. And so the fact that it was almost madcap luck that we had the Madcap name is really cool to me.
Quite apropos.
Right. So I guess the other question would be, because I think we're going to do one of your songs right after this anyway, is where do you find that, I'm going to call it the purple spot in your heart, when you're writing something intricate, or doing a cover like Corvette, where you find that moment where there's a whole nother soul that you're showing us there? Where does something like that come from sometimes?
Kind of from desperation, I guess. From having shit that you've repressed or like sidelined or marginalized, and then for whatever reason certain songs or certain keys or certain tunes just evoke certain vibrations of that, and you find an outlet, and then you're only semi-conscious of it. It's just a certain swagger, a certain swank that you feel that kind of unleashes hitherto submerged force within your psyche. And that's a really roundabout-ish, evasive way of answering it, but I guess it's like songs are like myths, and you often talk about myths and retelling myths, and that's what it's all about for fools like us. But not that the song is the answer to anything, not that the song is a way out of the labyrinth, so to speak, but there's a certain emotion contained within the song that if you or I were able to access during certain moments of our emotional upbringing, we could really move forward. You know, let's say it's a song about being a pimp or something. Now, that's not an admirable life goal. It could be worse, though. I mean, you can do worse than being a pimp, but it's not necessarily what we're all striving towards spiritually. That being said, there are situations which you and I think most people find ourselves in. If even for a moment, if you could be a pimp, whatever the fuck that means, if you could assert yourself in a way that you hadn't before, in the right situation for the right reason at the right time, then you take a leap forward. And music's one way to do that. And it's not about promoting the idea of the song or that it's a panacea for anything, but can I express this? And if I could, what would it mean?
I like that.
Thanks.
I like that. You roundabout it back to a really nice spot. I think.
Well, I've got you to emulate there. I mean, your rants do that conspicuously, consistently, and most artfully.
We're just trying to define something that's indefinable.
Here in this metal space.
In my little isolation
of the
booth,
beast.
you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Here we are, the stars of the underground collective. You know?
Yep, as always.
So, we're madcasting on the Madcap Monday. Let's hear something from Nate Cozzolino. Thanks for joining us. Any last words?
Keep the madcapery coming.
Heck yes.
Me and Soup talked about the etymology of it, and it turns out that more or less it's change head. So let us change our heads, all of us, and let's change them together and for the better.
Absolutely. Totally with you. Let's do it. Here he is, Nate Cozzolino.
Next up, I'm going to break it up with my middle set here. Got my good friend Ray Fogarty. Going to join me on the guitar. And Caleb's going to bang the skins a little more. She can't take much more than this, Captain. Fogarty on guitar over here. Caleb banging the skins once again. Let's do one more and
Hello, are you listening?
This is Caleb Ezra Poirier.
I'm Josh Willis.
This is Amanda Salemi.
I am Mike Baker.
This is Soup, and you're listening to the Madcast.
Madcapery.
Madcast.
Madcast.
Madcast. Madcap.
Of Madcap Mondays.
Mic check 1 2.
So, I'm kind of veered. I gotta start this off right. Hi, my name is Soup, and I'm going to be your Velociraptor for the next few minutes. Just came up with a really cool idea. Madcap as an acronym. Ready? Missing Asinine Directive Collaborative Association of People. Right? I think that's pretty good. That's my notes for the day. I didn't write down notes for this, as I usually do. This one's a little off kilter. I like to do my talks on stuff that I've had involvement with in the past couple of days, or something kind of inspired me. And I didn't really find anything other than a show on Bigfoot. So we're gonna go with that, kind of. We're gonna talk about strings, and we're gonna talk about survival, and we're gonna talk about believing in things that may or may not actually exist, but they do because we're thinking about them. So I'm going to kind of start there first, and then we'll hit strings, and then I'll get into survival afterwards. So I play this video game, Grand Theft Auto. We know the Grand Theft Autos, right? And that uses a really cool algorithm of intelligence, of artificial movement and stuff that has been used for quite a while, since the Nintendo 64. And I have to give the man some credit for showing this off to me. Josh Willis was the one who actually showed me this specific piece of the algorithm that fulfilled the rest of the thought. Because I was pretty sure of it before, but until then I didn't really have a solid piece of reference for it. If you play Zelda's Ocarina of Time, there's a certain part of the character algorithm that can lead you to believe that these characters exist on that plane of existence in that spot at that time. So if I go into a certain world and we load that part of the world up, I'm in Hyrule or whatever, and I see a guy and he's walking in a circle, I will then be able to walk so far away that I can't see him, but we are still inside of the same world, and he's going on his loop. And when I walk back, he will be in the same part of that pattern that he should be according to the time that we have spent inside of this world and where he should be on that pattern. Which leads me to believe a very simple thing that's actually very impactful on how we can think about things, which is that character walking on that pattern exists in reality. When I load up Hyrule and all those guys start walking around in their patterns and talking to each other and doing all of their artificial intelligence programming stuff, they are real. And they are really there. And I'm really interacting with them. Even though the character that I am utilizing to interact with them is digitally composited, their intelligence is actually inside of this machine being projected to me. And they exist and they are real. So how do they survive? Well, they don't, unless I want them to. Because as soon as I leave Hyrule in the Ocarina of Time and I Winds of Time and I'm off my way and now I'm 16 years old and I'm not in Hyrule anymore, that guy's old now and I can go see him again and he's still walking the same pattern. But when I take my horse and I ride outside and I go into the forest, he stops existing. I no longer loaded him into my program and I am no longer giving him my projection, so he can no longer project onto me. Which brings me to the woods of Oregon. I've only been there a couple of times, but it was with the Boy Scouts, too, yeah. We were out there having a good old time camping in Adirondack tent-like things, and we kept hearing stuff out in the woods. There was something going on out there. Maybe it was a grizzly, maybe it was a cougar, maybe it was some sort of other camping site or something like that, but I was like 12 years old, so I was completely and utterly convinced that it was a large primate-like animal that was walking around making grunting noises and stuff. And I really tried to get myself to believe that out there in the woods was this guy that we've been calling Bigfoot, and he was watching me, trying to watch him. And for that moment, while I was there thinking about that hard enough, inside of my brain, I was projecting something into those woods, and it was projecting back so hard that I believed it myself. I believed there was a Bigfoot there. So was there? According to me, there was. But if somebody on the outside were to look in on it and say, well, there wasn't anything actually out there, it was a grizzly bear walking down to the river or something like that. But I never saw a grizzly bear. I heard a Bigfoot in my ears. I saw things in the woods that made me think that there was something large in those woods before I went to check it out. And it existed to me. And when I tell the story to you for this moment right here, while you guys are listening to me, that Bigfoot exists again. Because I'm projecting on you, and that Bigfoot projected onto me originally. Which brings me to our third step. A little tiny piece of string. And our string can be made from anything. It can be made from nylon or cotton or some sort of synthetic blend of things. And it could be fully organic or fully made from human hands, something that doesn't actually exist in nature. And we can use this piece of string for many, many different things. One of the first things that we put together was a stone and a stick tied together with a little piece of string. And that string may have been made out of leather, and we'd call it something else, a binding or something, but it was a piece of string, this little adhesive material that has no adhesive properties. It can bring you together and keep things in a group, but it itself does not hold it there. I do, by tying it in a knot and wrapping it around those objects and bringing those objects closer together by putting tension on my piece of string and tying it into a harder knot so that nobody can undo it, and now it becomes a solid piece of something. And I can believe that that is one piece of something because I attached it together with this one piece of string. But if I hold the piece of string straight in 2 fingers on each hand, and I move my hands up and down, I can make that straight piece of string turn into a wave pattern. And that wave pattern reflects how my hands are moving because they are attached together with this thing that has no adhesive properties. And if I stretch that between 2 trees, let's say, maybe 4 or 5 inches above the ground and right outside of my camping area, and then the next day, after I'd heard growling noises in the middle of the night, that piece of string was broken, maybe I could believe that something had actually broken that string. And I didn't see it, but the projection of me upon that string and the projection of what I thought broke the string upon that thought of the broken string can then lead me to believe whatever I wanted existed to break that string. So when we're really thinking about it inside the back of our minds, I'm not actually talking about the woods or Bigfoot or string. I'm talking about how you talk to people, how you think about somebody else, how you want to attach yourself to somebody, or how you want to disattach yourself from somebody. And all you need is a little piece of something that's not necessarily adhesive to keep you together, because it's cohesive. Because there's more than one of us. There's more than one stick in a bundle. So we must be cohesive. And if we're all a little cohesive and we all have our own little pieces of string, and I tie my bundle together and you tie yours together and you tie yours together, and then Panda comes over and she ties all our bundles together, we are being cohesive. And we are cohabitating our projections of ourselves. And the only thing that separates us from that non-existent Bigfoot in Oregon is the fact that we believe we're here. My name is Soup. Thank you. That was me doing my philosopher rant there. And right before that, we had Nate, his buddies up on stage with him doing a little collaborative piece, and a special first-time Madcast guest, host Nate Cozzolino himself. And I think it was pretty cool, so I think I'm going to keep doing things like that. Pulling people aside, seeing what's up, asking them a question or two, and just diving inside the mind of what's going on. So, we only got a little bit left here. I'm going to leave you with two more. And so this is technically my sign-off. I hope you've enjoyed the Madcast of Madcap Mondays from the spot, Downtown Providence. Monday nights. Come on down if you want to be a part of it. Everybody's invited. Comedians, poets, musicians, anything. We'll take it all. If you want to come do a gypsy dance, that's cool with me. I'm down. I'm sure Nate will be all in on that. Amanda will enjoy it. It'll be a good time. Have a drink with us. Grab some food. It's always a good time, I promise. So, our last official track is Strawman Standing. He's quickly becoming a new favorite down at the spot. He dropped off his CD. He's played a couple of the open mics, including Madcap and the Recreation Tuesdays. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Don't forget to check out Circle Jam Productions. They're the guys who record our tracks for the Madcast. Caleb, who also plays some tracks for the Madcast. He's always down to do a recording gig, so get in touch with him, Circle Jam Productions. Check out thespotunderground.com. We always got stuff going on. Live music, 7 nights a week. You can't really beat that. I don't know where you're going to find that anywhere else. So, alright, this is it. I'm Soup. This has been episode 3, Perpetual Pontification of the Madcast of Madcap Mondays. Here's Strawman Standing, followed by a super special ultra secret track. Hope you enjoy it, and hope to see you next time on the Madcast.
And the riot whispers to the mellow train, hey man, will we ever see the girl again? And the trainee winces, for she rides alone, paying out the pennies that she hasn't got. There is nothing wrong in being where you are. It's only in the dawn that you can trace the trail of stars. A drink could be the answer. It right through my mind. If ever you should want me, don't be kind. Go on, rewind. Go on, rewind. And the tiger mumbles till the drunken bay. Hey man, will we ever break this canopy? And the bee chuckles for his mutant lame. Rabbit always knuckles on the window pane. There is nothing wrong in being where you are. It's only in the dawn that you can trace the trail of stars. A drink could be the answer. You ride right through my mind. If ever you should want me, don't be kind. Go on, rewind. Go on, rewind.
Thank you. Let's give it up for Brian Cook to my left here, backing me up on djembe.
That is Madcap.
Madcap.
This is Reverend Tim Batty for Madcast on Madcap Mondays. Get your rutabagas tested today.
I feel like a slice of Madcap melting on top of a big old pile of
Madcap.
Yeah.
She's on a vacation far away. I like my girls a little bit older. You know I like my girls a little bit older. Maggie May, I wish I'd never seen your face. I wish I'd never seen your face. Oh, that bitch ass Maggie May. I love you, but you really show your age. I'm sorry, Maggie May.
You have to do the hands too, right?
Alright, we'll do it all at once. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2.
one. Madcap!
Madcap! Madcap!
I smoke all the time. I don't care.
You're entirely bonkers.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Drunk and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
You're indeed brave tonight, but the fight is mine.
Oh, and enough, eh?
Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left.
Yes, I have.
Look!
Just a flesh wound.